Former federal prosecutor Nama Rahmani just revealed that Diddy is facing multiple decades behind bars for his multiple criminal charges related to sex trafficking and racketeering. Diddy's family has allegedly abandoned Diddy and stopped showing up to his bail hearings.
Now, earlier in the day, prosecutors outlined some of the items seized when they raided Diddy's homes. That included AR-15 rifles, ammunition, and images and videos of sex performances Diddy allegedly organized. Let's go to Nima Rahmani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, former federal prosecutor, joining us tonight from Los Angeles. Thanks for joining us today. Are you surprised that he's being held without bail, and what does that tell you?
I'm not surprised he's being held without bail because these are very serious allegations, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, some of which carry mandatory 10-year sentences in federal prison. That means the judge can't go lower than a amount. And of course, we know that Diddy, at least allegedly, according to the indictment, has threatened some of these witnesses and tried to bribe them. So given the nature of the charges and the fact that there's a presumption of detention for some of them, Diddy is being treated just like any other criminal defendant, despite his fame and his wealth.
Okay, so is the approach to this case similar to the way we saw the R. Kelly case being pursued?
It is similar because obviously we're talking about a RICO indictment, which is a corrupt criminal enterprise. And, we talk about racketeering. Of course, RICO is typically reserved for organizations like the mob or the cartel or street gangs, but it can apply to someone like Diddy with a large entourage. Obviously, they're being prosecuted by the feds, also in New York. In R. Kelly's case, it was prosecutors in Brooklyn, not Manhattan, but it's a very similar prosecution. But there is one key difference, and that is R. Kelly was charged with sexually abusing minors. And even though there were a lot of rumors and allegations of underage women at these parties,
this time around, Diddy was brought in first. He was brought in about a couple minutes after 2 p.m. today, and we were all kind of waiting to see. We had heard mumblings that his mom might be in courtroom, that we were waiting for the children, but then nothing happened. But then, in another twist and turn, the children do walk in, but this time it was a lot smaller bunch than it was the last time. So last time you're having all of Diddy's children, except with the exception of Love, who is just a 2-year-old child, so she wasn't at court. But you had all of Diddy's children there except Love. But this time around, you just had Justin Combs and Christian Combs, meaning that there was no Quincy there today. Delilah and Jesse weren't there. Chance wasn't there. And the caretakers of his younger children who aren't of age just yet, they were not present inside the courtroom as well today. But his mom also wasn't in court today. So when Diddy came inside, it was still that standard issued MDC jumpsuit. He's wearing khaki. From that video of, I think that was obtained by Daily Mail back in September, of Diddy playing hacky sack in Central Park, to now he appeared just astonishingly thinner, which you can expect to be inside a federal detention center for a couple months now. A lot different from the luxury lifestyle that he was living before, but he appeared very noticeably thinner, and maybe being locked up in detention is starting to wear on him.
Excuse me, everybody back up, please. So get this out, I'll be out of your way.
How are you doing? How are you feeling today? How are you going to be spending the holidays? How are you feeling today?
New allegations against Diddy, this time by former members of the band Donity Kane, has come forward. Oreo Day, Don Richard, and D Woods have filed lawsuits against Diddy and accused him of treating them like a piece of meat, valuing them only for sex appeal. In a recent interview, Woods described experiencing verbal abuse and degrading comments, which she reflected on in the docuseries The Fall of Diddy.
A new investigation, Discovery docuseries, is uncovering some new allegations about Sean Diddy Combs.
The Fall of Diddy, as it's called, features stories from some of those who worked closely with the music mogul, and that includes Donity Kane singer D Woods, who was featured on the hit show Making the Band 3.
What would you say to Diddy if you had the chance to talk to him?
Girl, I honestly do not know. But I don't think you really have to say anything. as long as I'm holding my head up high and my shoulders back.
I feel like I really want to hear this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Woods sitting down for an exclusive interview with ABC's Eva Pilgrim. She says what should have been a dream come true quickly became something else, alleging that Diddy created a verbally abusive work environment.
Somebody constantly treating you like a piece of meat, only valuing you for your sex appeal. And in some of the environments, you know, it was even scary to be by yourself.
Yeah, D. Woods is 3 of 5 members of Danity Kane who have spoken out over the last couple of years about abusive allegations during their time working with Diddy. He has denied all the allegations made against him in the documentary. He's facing trial later this year, charges including trafficking and racketeering, and he has pleaded not guilty.
Diddy's legal team has recently admitted the existence of his freak-off tapes, and they are now requesting that these tapes be handed over to them for review. Judge Aaron Subin has denied the request after prosecutors told him that Diddy planned to use these tapes to embarrass Cassie. Diddy's team is allowed to review the tapes under supervision, so it doesn't make sense why they want copies of the tapes for themselves. These tapes were handed over to the FBI by Cassie, and Diddy's team is claiming that the tapes actually show Cassie happy and satisfied with Diddy.